Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Smackdown Live. We are in the first Smackdown post Royal Rumble, and let's be honest, there's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to discuss with the scenery surrounding Smackdown Live following the Royal Rumble. Once again, Bobby Fish is on top of the landscape. Once more, Bobby Fish holds that WWE Championship, and once more, it was through no work of his own that he was able to hold on to that crown. Bobby Fish may be the new WWE Champion, but he's not here tonight. Who is here, though, is the new Intercontinental Champion, Finn Bálor. Finally putting everything behind him after an injury put out by Kevin Owens. Finn Bálor's road to redemption and road to returning to his former glory. Well, it went on a smooth sailing way at the Royal Rumble. He overcame Kenny Omega, won his first ever Intercontinental Championship, and tonight we will hear from the Intercontinental Champion as he speaks about whatever. We don't know what it's going to be. May well be the championship, may well be the future, could well be Kenny Omega himself. We'll find out later on tonight, but there is still a lot to get through in this episode of SmackDown Live. Kevin Owens, a man the only man who revealed himself to be a member of the SmackDown Live roster heading into the Royal Rumble. He was deeply frustrated with his performance in the Rumble, and he wants to avenge it. Tonight, Kevin Owens has said that anyone who participated in the Royal Rumble from SmackDown Live can take him on one-on-one later on tonight. Kevin Owens has business to settle. He has reasons to prove why it's the Kevin Owens show on SmackDown Live, and he has to get rid of all doubters tonight. But that is not the main event. Oh no. This is the main event. The WWE Tag Team Championships up for grabs once again, the second time in 2 weeks on SmackDown Live. Future Shock, Kota Ibushi and Ricochet against the team of War Machine, the new WWE Tag Team Champions. They went past the Young Bucks to win those titles the first time round, and now this time round in the main event with a Kota Ibushi that is on fire following his Royal Rumble performance. How will they cooperate? How will they work? Is it going to be Future Shock pulling off what could be labelled as an upset of a War Machine? Or will these two brutes be on their way to a title reign and be showing their dominance right from the start? We'll find out, but we're going to kick things off. You want to talk about big men? You want to talk about a lot of fighting? Well, we're going to get it right from the start, because we're going to kick things off with Rusev against Roman Reigns. Well, let's get this one underway, and of course, to get this match underway, we need to go to the one and only, the Ravishing Russian herself, the wife of Rusev, and that, of course, is Lana. Please, take it away.
And now, America, I ask you to stand up and put your hand on your heart and welcome the one and only true American hero. He is my husband, which means he is the only man that can have me. Welcome, the Bulgarian brute, Rusev!
Yes, here he comes, Rusev, towards the ring, fresh off his Royal Rumble performance, which was actually pretty damn good in the grander schemes of things. I think he picked up 2 eliminations, and one of those eliminations was Tetsuya Naito, who in his own right had a fantastic Royal Rumble. Rusev certainly had his part to play in getting his name out there in the Rumble. I do not remember who he was eliminated by, however. But was he a part of the... no, I was about to say, was he a part of the Ibushi 5-1 field, but I don't think he was. Because there was Reigns who got eliminated, Zayn, Skrull, and Swan. Those were the 4, I believe. I think Rusev must have gone up before then, but nevertheless, Rusev still had a very strong Royal Rumble in his own right. There were no, standout people, well, aside from Braun Strowman, there was no people getting, like, a bunch of eliminations this year. Everyone was, the people who were getting eliminations were doing it because they performed really well, and Rusev was one of them. And here comes his opponent, also from the Royal Rumble as well, Roman Reigns, who I don't believe had a truly great Royal Rumble. I don't know if Reigns even got an elimination to his name in that Royal Rumble, and that is certainly causing some problems in the Dangerous Alliance. Paul Heyman may well have his WWE Champion back in the in the Dangerous Alliance, but what he doesn't have is a duo beside him who can protect the WWE Champion from any potential threat. Who can protect the WWE Champion from the likes of CM Punk, who I imagine wants another piece of Bobby Fish. Even if what happened at the Royal Rumble would dictate that he should go elsewhere. Roman Reigns right now needs to turn things around once more, needs to get himself back on track again. The man who almost became Intercontinental Champion at Backlash almost just over a month ago now. This is not. This is rather the Roman Reigns who took a while to settle into SmackDown Live. This is the Roman Reigns who struggled before Paul Heyman came around at the start of last year. This is not the Roman Reigns that Paul Heyman is used to by any means. And I don't even know what the situation is between Paul Heyman and Mark Henry at this point. Henry hasn't been spotted on SmackDown now in some weeks. Maybe the performance at Survivor Series dictating the way that Paul Heyman believes about Mark Henry. Of course, Roman Reigns had a standout Survivor Series performance, and that's what makes his dip in form that much weirder. Roman Reigns heading into it was doing absolutely outstanding before he ended up losing that Intercontinental Championship matchup to Kenny Omega. That was kind of what almost snowballed this derailment of momentum. And the Royal Rumble was another part of it. There's genuinely not much I remember saying about Reigns' performance. I don't think he got an elimination on the night. And I know he was eliminated by Rich Swann in a very surprising kind of way. And Reigns is using that frustration to his advantage here to get an early goal against Rusev. That is a part to play in the Paul Heyman mind games. Meanwhile here, Lana getting herself involved early on. And maybe the agitation that Roman Reigns has going through him is allowing Lana to work that bit better and getting under Reigns' skin. But we are underway now with Reigns now on the receiving end of some shots. Look at this, into the turnbuckle again and again. Reigns just stopped the 10th one there, and it is Rusev who eats the turnbuckle. Oh my god, the strike there of Roman Reigns to hit him up for that electric chair with relative ease. Like I said about earlier, we have that new WWE Champion around. Bobby Fish is the, once again, for now the third time, the WWE Champion. The poster boy of SmackDown Live, but he did not do it by himself. In fact, he barely did it at all. Brock Lesnar was the one. Brock Lesnar was the one who sabotaged the reign of CM Punk and took that title away from Punk. It was a vile act, it was a heinous act, it was whatever else you want to call it, and whatever you do call it, it is true. But the fact remains, Bobby Fish is once again the WWE Champion. And I'm not too sure what we can do about it. It's almost one of those matters that there's so much to discuss, but until we hear from the man himself, we won't really be able to bring out all that we want to say. Brock Lesnar did what he did. Bobby Fish capitalized on the moment, but it is just one of those things when you think back to the Royal Rumble, as incredible as a pay-per-view as it was just not something that sits well, shall we say, in the memory of the Royal Rumble. And until Fish comes out and talks, because you know he's going to talk before he wrestles and gets to celebrate that victory, we'll tackle it then. But right now, Rusev is looking to use an advantage here on Roman Reigns. Lana provided the distraction, and the chair shot there to Reigns, hoping to try and put him away with it. There's two, and a kick out by Reigns. You can imagine the reaction from Paul Heyman had he not kicked out of that. Reigns with a counter. Big punch in the gut, and now on his way. Nope, brought back belly to belly there by Roman Reigns, and here comes Lana again getting involved. Look at the difference in managers here. Lana completely getting involved at every moment, every passing turn. Paul Heyman has been watching on the outside and nothing more. Maybe that goes to show that, you know, Roman is on his own in this one. He may well be at ringside, but Heyman's not looking to interfere. Heyman's not looking to assist this man. He's got to do it himself. And he is trying right now, and I got to say he's doing a pretty good job of taking it to Rusev as well and proving himself in this matter, in the turnbuckle. Oh my god, what a counter there. Big time Uranagi by Rusev into the cover here. Reigns able to still kick out pretty early on. Big bouts back and forth here by these two men. Big hits being thrown at one another. Reigns coming with a spear. The sudden strike of the spear, and it finishes Rusev. Roman Reigns back on track, back in the victory column, and maybe back in the good books of Paul Heyman. The sudden spear can put down anyone at any time, and that is what we had to witness here tonight. Roman Reigns, once more, your winner. Heyman, he's applauding, but in his same way, that applause almost looks sarcastic. Commiserations there to Rusev. But there is your winner, Roman Reigns. There is got to be a little bit of buzz for that victory. There's got to be a little bit of buzz for Paul Heyman to think about. And maybe Bobby Fish, wherever he is. He's not here tonight, I can tell you that much. Might be happy to see that his right-hand man, his bodyguard essentially, is getting his act together once more. What about the other side? We don't know. Mark Henry and Paul Heyman, we don't know. Been at odds ever since Survivor Series, and we still wonder as to when they'll get fixed. But anyway, let's move on to our next contest. Coming up next is a match, and I feel really stupid because I have definitely forgot it. My bad. Oh, no, I've just remembered off the top of my head. Probably not the best, considering these are the kind of guys who talk about being forgotten and cast aside by society. It is MKULTRA, more specifically Raven, the leader of MKULTRA, who said that he wants to take on someone. He wants SmackDown Live Committee to pick an opponent for him. But don't tell him. Raven in action up next. And I already know who his opponent is. So here will come Raven. More specifically, here will come MKULTRA in their entirety. Towards the ring, coming throughout the Baltimore crowd here to make their way out. It's been almost been a long time since we last seen these guys. It has been a while since MKULTRA once featured in a ring. They were at one point almost the WWE Tag Team Champions. Now that has kind of dipped away. MKULTRA looking to not be forgotten. Raven looking to get them back on the swinging ways of things. Looking to bring about momentum and victory back towards this group. You see there Alexander Wolf and Luke Harper, usually the ones doing business for MKULTRA. Tonight, however, Raven wants to get about it. Raven wanted his opponent chosen for him but not revealed. Raven wants to stick it to the SmackDown committee and prove that he can take out anyone in front of him. Ooh, I wish you the best of luck. Raven, meet your opponent for the night. Yeah, it's none other than the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And this is the man who, well, it has to be said, is at the center of controversy on SmackDown Live. For whatever reason, unbeknownst to us all, and a reason we'll probably never find out, because when does Brock Lesnar speak? Lesnar interfered in the WWE Championship match before it even got underway. Lesnar attacked CM Punk backstage as I was getting ready to talk about the build-up to the match. Lesnar suplexed him, repeatedly powerbombed him through a table, and then, as we saw, proceeded to drag CM Punk by his arms and his legs down the ramp into the ring before delivering 2 F5s, putting away CM Punk, leaving the way he came, and letting Bobby Fish capture that WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar didn't even need to be in the Royal Rumble. As a matter of fact, you could have forgotten Lesnar was in the Royal Rumble if not for his stare downs with Braun Strowman, if not for the fact that he was in the Final 5. That was Brock Lesnar's Royal Rumble, and you know he did it solely to get people talking. Or maybe I'm just making it up. Maybe Lesnar did it because he wanted to. maybe Lesnar did it because he's Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants, as Raven is about to find out here. Well done, Raven. You got in one move. And now you begin to pay for it immensely, because here goes Brock Lesnar as MKUltra watch on as their leader now will be beaten from pillar to post. Raven still able to counter right now. Neckbreaker there. Lesnar was eliminated by, in a very surprising fashion, NXT's Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace, picking up the elimination of him. But Lesnar still had his moments. Lesnar still stood toe to toe with the monster among men, Braun Strowman. What a stare down that one was between those two men. What a some back and forth it was as well between those two men. But now Lesnar's back to business here on SmackDown Live, picking up with a Royal Rumble left off for him. Picking up with the beatdown, more importantly, of CM Punk ended off. Alexander Wolf getting on the apron. Lesnar jaw-jacking with him. You know that Lesnar's doing this. He enjoys jaw-jacking with anyone because he wants to. But surprisingly, Raven can capitalize on it. Well, maybe not so. Oh my god. Lesnar, that wasn't even a big boot. He just brought the boot down basically into Raven's throat. And now he will fully capitalize. Fall away slam. Raven flung across the ring there like a cruiserweight. Although everyone is essentially like a cruiserweight in the grasp of Brock Lesnar. So, spear there. And to the outside goes Lesnar. Raven is actually fighting a little bit here. Though is Brock Lesnar. No, you gotta think. He's fighting. But is it because Brock Lesnar wants him to? Is it because Brock Lesnar wants some fight? Oh my god. German suplex all the way up to the ramp. God, that is some recoil from that suplex by Brock Lesnar. Raven, a man who enjoys pain, but this may be one of those occasions where he wishes he didn't take part in it. Here we go now. Welcome to the trip to Suplex City for Raven. Can count along at home all you want. It won't make a difference. Raven is out of this one. Raven is done for. MKUltra can watch on all they like. Their leader is about to take a tumble down, courtesy of the F5 by Lesnar. And with 1, 2... Oh, what are you getting yourself into? What is going through the mind of Raven to think this is a good idea of all things? To think that going after, or kicking out even, further agitating the beast is a smart move. That's what, German suplex number 6 now in this one. Roll out of the ring all you want, Raven. Lesnar's going to follow suit, and that is exactly what he's done here. Alexander Wolf heading now towards over. Getting a close eye on it. And that really meant nothing at all. He literally just got a close eye on it. And nothing more. Lesnar now back in control in the ring. Reverse suplex there. Another huge lariat and Raven goes down. This is what Brock Lesnar had in mind essentially for CM Punk. This is all that Brock Lesnar wanted to do. This is all the rage that has built up within Brock Lesnar. Probably even as far back as Battleground. Certainly since Backlash. There's Suplex City once again. And Lesnar wants everyone to see it. Dead center. Middle of the ring. He has dealt with MKUltra before. And he will deal with the leader now tonight. This has got to be it. F5 to Raven. The cover. 1, 2, 3. What are you doing, man? Brock Lesnar now has reached a stage where he wants nothing to do with this anymore. Now torture sets in. Camel clutch applied and Raven gives up. And that says something. Raven would much rather pass out than tap out. But he just gave in to the beast. He just submitted to Brock Lesnar. Lesnar finishes off another victim. Another one added to the tally of the beast. Another victory for Brock Lesnar, but there are more pressing matters that Lesnar has to think about when they arrive. CM Punk. Does he go for Bobby Fish? Does he try and get that title back? Does he go for Brock Lesnar? What will go through the mind of that man? What will Brock Lesnar think? What will CM Punk do? Are these men destined for a clash? I think it's inevitable. But what will happen first? And if the WWE Championship is what comes to Punk first, will Brock Lesnar make sure that he's focused on him and not Bobby Fish? We'll see what tactical mind games, if any, that the Beast will play. But CM Punk certainly has a mantra for revenge. Just all about when he'll enact it. Right, well now time to move on, because I have been told that up next we are going to hear from the new Intercontinental Champion. We are going to see him for the first time since winning that belt. Finn Bálor is here tonight in Baltimore to celebrate his Intercontinental Championship win and maybe to decide what is next for that belt. And here he comes, Finn Bálor. Probably not at 100% yet. He took a beating at the hands of Kenny Omega at the Royal Rumble. It looked as if at one point he was done. There was no way he was coming back, but Finn Bálor found a way back. Finn Bálor found his breath, and he made Kenny Omega kiss goodbye and good night to the Intercontinental Championship. And that is Finn Bálor's first port of call here, to celebrate that victory, but to say that he couldn't do it alone. Finn Bálor knows that for all the talent he gave, for all the heart he gave in that matchup, it would not be without the blood that pumps through his veins, and the blood is the Smackdown Live crowd. And Finn Bálor's mindset is simple. It's time to give back. It's time to reward them. So each and every week, Finn Bálor will defend that Intercontinental Championship up until WrestleMania. He will pick someone to defend against from whoever gets victories here tonight on Smackdown Live. And already, Bálor wants to get into business. Next week, he'll defend that Intercontinental Championship, and he wants to defend it against Roman Reigns. Finn Bálor has it set. He wants to take on Roman Reigns. He'll just await next week for that man to show up. It is time for Finn Bálor to be a champion once more. It is time for Finn Bálor to get his name back out there, to get his legacy back on track. It all begins next week with the Intercontinental Championship, and don't worry, he won't ignore everyone. Certainly not you, Kenny Omega. Well, it seems as if Finn Bálor is wanting to give back to everyone, much the same as Cody Rhodes did on Raw before losing that US title. Finn Bálor will now pick up where he left off. Only every single week that Intercontinental Championship is getting defended, and there is a reason why people go Smackdown Live, the best wrestling show every week. So there we go. That is Finn Bálor's plans for the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, respectable, admirable, a fighting champion. All of those can be said in my mind when it comes to that man. You got to commend that about Finn Bálor as well. Next week already, gearing up to defend his Intercontinental Championship against Roman Reigns. That should be an interesting bout between those two men. And we'll see what he'll do week in and week out as well. Of course, as he said, he'll defend it up to WrestleMania. So that's an interesting thought as well, because as I stated on, I believe it was on Raw, there are no there's no brand exclusive pay-per-views between now and WrestleMania. So any and all title matches, if there are going to be any, are going to be on the shows themselves. Maybe one at King of the Ring, because we'll need to space out the semi-finals and the finals somehow. But even then, maybe not even a title match then. Maybe just any kind of matchup, something could happen. Maybe I was about to say maybe a third place, but that wouldn't work either. There'd have to be some kind of matchup, It doesn't even have to be a title match. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good idea by Finn Balor as well, and we'll see next week how it'll come out in its planning. Not its planning, but in its actual production. And let's just hope that it doesn't fail for Finn Balor, because he's only just won that Intercontinental Championship, and I don't want to see him give it up anytime soon. But now we're going to move on to the women's division. Coming up here right now, AJ Lee and Sasha Banks one-on-one. We saw at the Royal Rumble, Nikki Cross overcome Bayley to defend her Smackdown Live Women's Championship. And it seems as if that another challenger needs to step up to the plate, step in line, and go after that psychotic Nikki Cross. And that is exactly what these two women are going to do here. AJ Lee and Sasha Banks ready to go in this one. Two submission, I wouldn't say submission specialists, but certainly key maneuver, so key finishing maneuver, of course, surrounding the submission. So definitely going to have to work on some wear down spots. Definitely going to have to try and get the best of the other. I mean, you know, AJ Lee's maybe a little bit more difficult than Sasha Banks is. Banks can just go about a normal matchup and will be fine for the Banks statement. AJ Lee, on the other hand, has to wrestle that normal kind of matchup and do work on the arm as well, which makes it very interesting as the referee reveals his arse to AJ Lee there. But, yeah, like I said, you know, someone's got to line up to take on Nikki Cross next, and out of these two women, we could be finding the next one very shortly. I'm not trying to say this is the number one contenders match. As I've said time and time again, I'm not a member of the SmackDown committee. I don't know what their mindset is when it comes to these matches. I am simply a commentator on this night. Of course, if you want to know what it's like to be a general manager, if you want to, let me try English again. If you want to know what I'm like as a general manager, well, you tune in tomorrow to ECW and see why it is the A show week in and week out with the A champion, the A star champion, I think I'd rather say, in Seth Rollins. Anyway, focusing back on this matchup right now. On the outside, these two women are Sasha Banks working on the arm on the outside of all things as well. I would have gone for something a bit more vicious than just stamping on the arm, but in the same right, that does do a lot of damage. That does hurt, just stepping on forearm. Nothing to protect AJ Lee either. Count up to 6 now, I believe. And a trip into the ring pole for AJ Lee will knock her all kinds of silly as we get back in the ring here with Banks in total control. Up on the second rope now, Sasha Banks looking to continue. The boss looking to, well, pun intended, boss her way to victory over AJ Lee. And a bit of commentator's curse there as AJ Lee moves out of the way. Can she get something going now? Went for a big wind-up forearm there, didn't get it. Banks with a clothesline. Brings down AJ Lee. Alright, that was a bit disrespectful there by Sasha Banks. Just a slap in the face to AJ Lee, but Banks certainly looking focused, poised right now as they're up on the top rope. Hurricanrana, indeed it will be from the top. A big kick in the back as well by Sasha Banks. The way Banks stretches the back as well, which she locks in the Bank statement, will certainly help, as will this. The bankrupt neck breaker there. Banks won't look to go for the cover. Now she will. Usually she just goes right into the cover after it, but decided to wait a little bit. Only got a 1 count, but she's not going to be looking for the 1 count whenever she looks for that Bank statement, that's for certain. Counter though by AJ Lee now. AJ Lee standing, sliced bread there. Right into the cover on Banks. Hoping it could be enough for victory here. There's the count and a kick out. You look at the level of talent who wants to get their hands on the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Nikki Cross. You got these two women. You got Becky Lynch. You even have Bayley, who'd probably want another shot after coming up so close in a way at the Royal Rumble. You even got the behemoth herself, the brute of the SmackDown Live Women's division, in Nia Jax. But Right now, these two women are fighting with everything they've got to try and get that victory, to try and get people talking about their names, to try and make sure that people put them at the top of the list for the prime attention of Nikki Cross. Meanwhile, Sasha Banks has her perched up in trouble here. Double knees into the gut of AJ Lee. And the cover to wrap this one up by Sasha. No, AJ Lee gets the far shoulder upper 2 there to keep this matchup alive. Look at that, playing possum there in some ways by AJ Lee. Got herself out of that, and she's found herself an opening. Will she look for the Black Widow? Yes, she will, and she gets it as well. Black Widow on the arm of Sasha. Will Sasha submit here? No, she won't. Fair play. Sasha must have been studying up on AJ Lee to get out of the submission as quick as she did. Sprung out of the Black Widow in seconds. Right now, AJ Lee just kind of watching, staring at Sasha. Perhaps AJ Lee just trying to recover a little bit as well. Standing sliced bread again. Didn't work the first time. Will it work this time on Sasha Banks? No. So close, however. So close. She'll try again, though. In quick succession after the other one. No, it won't be. Shining Wizard by AJ Lee. Sasha Banks looked like she'd been knocked out by that one. There's 2. Oh, so close again. But AJ Lee cannot finish off the boss. And now she's almost just kind of starting to resort to any move she can think of there. Hard knee across the face of Banks, but she's somehow still fighting on in this one. Still some fight going for Sasha Banks as she gets that forearm shot in the face of AJ Lee now. Here comes the kick. Here we go. Wrapping the arms around the neck. Bankrupt. But what will Banks look to do after this now? Big kick in the ribs there. She tried the double knees in the gut and didn't get what she wanted. Is the Banks statement going to have to be called? Maybe not. Roll up here by Sasha. Roll up. Will it finish off AJ Lee? It will not, but it was damn close. Odd kick there in the face of AJ Lee. Banks will take a moment to recover. That is going to allow AJ Lee back up to her feet in some ways. Banks, though, turns around. The backstabber and will roll over into the Banks statement now. Will this finish off AJ Lee? Will this be victory for the boss here? It will be. It will be. AJ Lee submits to the Banks statement. Sasha Banks is your winner in this one. We'll talk about a bit of a comeback from behind as well for Sasha Banks. Black Widow, Shining Wizard, that knee right in the face. Sasha Banks, though, refusing to give in and headed out with a big win for her tonight. What could well get people talking about on a way to the Smackdown Live Women's Championship opportunity. But like I said, there are still a great deal more who want to get their hands on Nikki Cross as well. She's a hot commodity. That belt is a hot commodity. And finally, with the domination of Winter's past put aside, maybe now we can see some fresh faces holding that belt. But we'll find out. Like I said, Nikki Cross might be a hot commodity. She's a damn good champion to boot. Anyway, let's move on to our next contest. Kevin Owens was frustrated that he didn't win the Royal Rumble, but he isn't going to go and main event WrestleMania. Kevin Owens wants to show that he is still, however, one of the best in SmackDown Live, and he wants to call out anyone from the Royal Rumble who was representing SmackDown Live to face him one-on-one up next. Well, I imagine the frustration for Kevin Owens was only amplified by who he was eliminated by in the Royal Rumble as well. Owens came in about number 21? 22 maybe? No, 21. I believe Kevin Owens came in at. And who did he have to go face to face with? Shinsuke Nakamura. Who did he get eliminated by? Shinsuke Nakamura. Kevin Owens wanted to head in there. In Owens' mind, he didn't care who he shared the ring with. Just going to WrestleMania was all that mattered to him. The fact was, an old rival of his got a bit of revenge for Backlash. And now Kevin Owens will take on anyone here. He will fight anyone, as his shirt does say. But who will he fight? Will he fight Sami Zayn? Will he fight Rusev, maybe? Could he fight Roman Reigns again? Could he fight Brock Lesnar again? Could he fight this man? The answer is yes. Yes, indeed, he will. We are getting a pay-per-view rematch here on Smackdown Live. We are getting a WrestleMania caliber match right here, right now, because here comes Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, this is the gift that keeps on giving. The Shinsuke Nakamura, the man who went face-to-face with two of the biggest rivals he's faced in his entirety in this universe. Sting and Kevin Owens, and he eliminated them both. That speaks volumes about Nakamura's Royal Rumble performance. Even if it was only those two eliminations that he was able to pick up, those are two huge eliminations. Sting and Kevin Owens. Sting, someone who was undefeated, was a dominant world champion. Someone who went toe-to-toe with Nakamura on more than one occasion and still lived to tell the tale the very next day. Kevin Owens, one of the most successful men in the history of this universe. One of the most successful champions in this universe. A 4-time WWE champion. No one has held a singular title, an individual title, more than Kevin Owens has, with 4 WWE Championship reigns to his name. Shinsuke Nakamura headed into the Rumble with the intention of settling some scores, and indeed he did. He settled plenty of scores there. Nakamura, though, looks to seal the fate of this one here tonight. Looks to derail Kevin Owens' chance and hopes of getting his name back up in the higher echelons of SmackDown Live once again. Looks to bring him back down to reality. Looks to get revenge for Backlash, does Nakamura. This one is gonna be a good one, as Nakamura gets ready here. Oh, look at this, his back turned for a second, and KO will walk right in and go right after the open opportunity. This is the man that we work with. This is the man that SmackDown Live cannot cooperate with. This is all Kevin Owens' MO. Find an opportunity, capitalize on it, exploit it as well, and hurt your opponent. Shinsuke Nakamura was in the middle of his entrance, and now Kevin Owens is going right after him. Owens now, buckle bomb to Nakamura, bringing him down, and Owens loves it. This is all Kevin Owens lives for. The thought of taking the fight to someone, the thought of leaving someone crumpled and down on the mat. But right now, Shinsuke Nakamura is denying him of that virtue by fighting back. Kevin Owens, of course, was responsible for why Finn Bálor was on the shelf for so long, before coming back and capturing the Intercontinental Championship. He wanted to do the same to Shinsuke Nakamura. He's taken Kyle O'Reilly out of the equation. O'Reilly, who people thought could be making his way back at the Royal Rumble. Still, no estimation given for his return. And it is because of that man there that we don't have an estimation for his return. It is because of Kevin Owens. The two big names on SmackDown Live aren't here to tell the tale. It is because only one now in Kyle O'Reilly, but still. It is because of Kevin Owens that two of SmackDown's greatest talents were put on the shelf, forced to sit out time in their career, and maybe come back maybe with a bit of regression. Notice I said regression there, not aggression. Regression, backwards. Scared maybe. Worried that they'll re-injure themselves. He wanted to do the same to Nakamura. He may not have been able to put him away, but he still got the victory over him at Backlash. He still pinned him 1, 2, 3 without any underhanded tactics, without cheating. And Kevin Owens' main frustration comes from the fact that he wasn't rewarded for beating Nakamura. He wasn't given anything. Well, if he beats him here tonight, then he may well force the SmackDown committee to give him something. Kevin Owens is certainly looking like he wants to get that over and done with as well here tonight, as he takes the fight right now to Nakamura. Forearm in the back, up in an electric chair, swings it round into a power bomb. Owens now into the cover, and Nakamura still kicking out early on. There may well be a title match on in the main event, but this is looking like the main event of SmackDown Live right about now. Cannibal sent on. Owens desperate to win this one. Cover on Nakamura here. Will do anything to put him away. And Nakamura still able to kick out at 2. To be fair, you need more than a cannibal sent on. You need more than a pop-up powerbomb to put away Nakamura. He has fought through too long, too much, and on too many occasions to be put away. But the same can be said for Owens. What Nakamura will have up next may not finish it off here. Nakamura sees him crawling towards him, brings him down with a stomp there and winds it up. A kick in the gut. Kinshasa! Nakamura in for the cover, and Owens in the ropes according to the referee. But notice how Nakamura doesn't jaw-jack. Nakamura doesn't get himself distracted. Back on the money. Nakamura, double knees in the gut there. Owens, though, moves out of the way. Kick in the gut now. No, one little tiny opening. And what a counter by Nakamura. What a reversal there by the King of Strong Style. I was about to say that the pop-up powerbomb was striking. But no, the only thing striking right now is the knees of Nakamura into the face of Kevin Owens. And Owens is getting the hell out of Dodge. Nakamura coming right after him and bringing him down on the outside as well. Kevin Owens' plan of attack there has backfired. Shinsuke Nakamura now. Oh, looked like he was looking for a big knee there. Owens countered it in a DDT on the padding. Uh-oh, up on his shoulders here in a fireman's carry. Now Owens seems to have something in mind. Oh, he's carrying them there. Oh, God! Dumps him on the apron. Kevin Owens has had quite a story with the apron. It is, of course, the apron where Owens strikes with that powerbomb, where he took Finn Bálor out, where he took Kyle O'Reilly out. It is that apron where Kevin Owens finishes off a man. And I am worried that he might try and finish off Nakamura with it in this matchup, should Nakamura still be fighting at that stage. Neck breaker there by Kevin Owens. Again, scoots into the cover here. Is Nakamura done for? Is Owens going to get another win? Not yet. The longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion in this universe still kicking out. Maybe with Kevin Owens' win here tonight, he could get himself a shot at Finn Bálor's Intercontinental Championship, should he retain over Roman Reigns next week. Kick in the gut now. Trying to go with the strikes, but Nakamura not having any of it. Big kick in the head. Forearm. Is he going to look for the Exploder Suplex? No, Saito Suplex though. Now he's going to look for it though. Nakamura will try for it again. Will he get it? Kinshasa! I think Owens is in the ropes though. Once more he is. Once more, the ropes save Kevin Owens. Nakamura may well be the King of Strong Style, but apparently ring awareness there was not his best friend. Into the turnbuckle now. Uh-oh, this is looking worrying for Kevin Owens, maybe. No, Nakamura took too long. Owens counters. Sends Nakamura into the turnbuckle. He's going to do it again here. He's going to dump him right on the top of his head. Single underhook. DDT! With his feet locked into the top rope as well top turnbuckle rather. Owens now up on the top. Moonsault by KO. Into the cover here. Is Nakamura finished? Is he done for? No. He's still kicking at it too, yeah. This one is getting competitive. You can feel the animosity and the hatred between both men in this one. The Owens breaker. Kevin Owens brings Nakamura to the middle of the ring, and he looks set and ready to finish this, to finish Nakamura. Kick in the gut, but the pop-up powerbomb, it will not be. Package pile driver by Kevin Owens. No protection. Dumped on your head. Is it lights out for Nakamura? It is not. Nakamura kicks at it too, and the expression on Kevin Owens' face tells the story as a whole. And now he tries anything and everything to put him away, but Nakamura will not fall here. He counters, and here we go. The exploder again. And look at that by Owens. He didn't move. Didn't move a muscle there. He was just practically dead on the mat. And oh, Nakamura has done it. It may not have been a Kinshasa, but Owens had taken 2 of them. And the only reason he survived was because of the ropes. Owens was out cold. He was not even responding. He wasn't moving a muscle. And now, Nakamura. He extracted a measure of revenge at the Royal Rumble. And now, he finishes with Owens here tonight on SmackDown Live. A return, a victory that he wanted, a victory that he desired, and a victory that he got. Nakamura now. Where and what? Those are the questions that we can ask for Shinsuke Nakamura. Where does he go next? What does he do next? We'll see. Nakamura still one of the most beloved talents on SmackDown Live. And maybe, first time I've referenced him this show, maybe if a Royal Rumble winner, Kazuchika Okada, goes elsewhere, we could get Nakamura and Fish at WrestleMania. I, for one, would not oppose it. But anyway, it is time to focus away from Nakamura, Okada, anyone like that. It is time to focus on the main event. The tag team titles are up for grabs between 2 well-respected teams on SmackDown Live. Future Shock may well be the underdogs, but Kota Ibushi right now is on fire after his Royal Rumble performance. However, will that fire be extinguished courtesy of War Machine? The new tag team champions have just got their hands on that gold. They don't want to let it go anytime soon. Certainly not to a smaller team in the Future Shock. We'll find out. This one's going to be a good one. There's a reason why it's the main event, and it's up next. Let's do this. There can only be one WWE Tag Team Champion. There can only be one team that holds that gold. And right now, we find out who it is. Is it Ibushi? Is it Ricochet? Nope, that makes no sense. Is it Ibushi and Ricochet? Is it War Machine? The question is going to be answered in minutes. I was going to say seconds, but no, it won't be. It won't be seconds. Well, like I said, Future Shock have a bit of a chip on their shoulder. It's that man there. Hopping, skipping, jumping, running about, and Kota Ibushi is on perhaps the momentum of his lifetime. Especially within this universe. Kota Ibushi is on fire. At the Royal Rumble, he was in a ring with 5 people in the ring at one moment in time. There was himself and 4 others. In seconds, it went down to 1. Kota Ibushi. It went down to 4. Ibushi didn't get that elimination. 3. Ibushi got that elimination. 2. Okay, he didn't get that elimination. 1. He got that elimination. Ibushi cleared 2. He cleared 50% of the people in the ring with him. Like that. In seconds. It was incredible to witness by Ibushi. And then he went toe-to-toe with Sting, Nakamura, and I think even Kevin Owens at one point. That is what made it so incredible for himself in the Royal Rumble. But right now, glossing over the Rumble. These guys are the Tag Team Champions, the brand new WWE Tag Team Champions, no less. Hanson and Raymond Rowe won the titles on the last episode of Smackdown Live from the Young Bucks. It is a result of this almost tag team turmoil we have going on. You see, Hanson and Raymond Rowe defeated the Young Bucks. They were supposed to get a title shot. They had a title shot against them all the way back at Backlash, but the Young Bucks got themselves disqualified to retain the titles. However, when these two men were supposed to be getting their rematch, Future Shock came along and got the victory over them. This resulted in there being more than one #1 contender, so it was decided that each team would face each other, I guess, or the champions would face the challengers on more than one occasion. And that is certainly what has happened here. Last week, the Bucks tried to defend the titles against War Machine. They tried with everything they could, but they failed. Hanson and Raymond Rowe walked out with those tag team titles, and now we'll see if Ricochet and Kota Ibushi can do what the Young Bucks couldn't and stop these two men. You see the tag team straps over their shoulders. You see the look that they give. You see that they are ready. You see that they are fighters. To them, it doesn't matter how well Kota Ibushi performed in the Royal Rumble. It's all about how well Kota Ibushi performs here tonight. It is all about what he does in this ring right now. Because the Royal Rumble isn't going to win you the WWE Tag Team titles. This match will. That is what Kota Ibushi for certain needs to understand. Momentum is a good thing, yes. But saying I have 2 eliminations in the Royal Rumble to Raymond Rowe, it isn't going to make a difference. He isn't going to suddenly lay down for you and give you those tag team titles. And that is what he'll need to understand as we get underway here in this main event. Speaking of Ibushi, he will start off here against Hanson. Hanson's been a standout brute. Oh, okay, interesting. He's been a standout brute for War Machine. He was the one who got the pin last... Well, I keep on saying last week, but it wasn't last week. He was the one who got the pin in that tag team title match to give them the titles. And now, here tonight, he looks to start things off in a destructive fashion against Kota Ibushi. Throws him into the turnbuckle German suplex. It was crumpling immediately, was Kota Ibushi. We had a nice respectful collar and elbow tie-up, and that just went out of the window. Hanson now displaying his brutish power. Oof, that senton splash was nasty there, but here goes Hanson now with the hard strikes. Ibushi down on one knee after just 2 of them. Hanson making him pay for that. Big kick in the gut. And again. Oh, and a clothesline. Ricochet won in the tag in already. I think that's not a sensible idea to go for something like that. Trying to get a hot tag in already. Trying to get the momentum corking up right away is a bad idea, if you ask me. You're going to want to do that later on in the matchup. And again here, whatever Ibushi looks for with that leap, he misses. And another German suplex for Ibushi. He is going to crawl though, and he will make the tag. Is that too soon of an idea? Is it too, I don't want to say dumb, but is it too risky of a decision? Is it too early to go for it while Hanson is still fresh? Well, he made Ricochet and Ibushi make it seem like that answer was a yes with that move there to the outside. Big boot back inside. Ibushi now down on the outside as he tries to recover here. Hanson in the driver's seat. War Machine, more importantly, in the driver's seat. See that there? That was so much impact there for Ricochet from a simple Irish whip. He bounced out of the turnbuckle. Raymond Rowe now the legal man. And a big boot to Ricochet. So much for that hot tag and all that momentum. Now he's got to deal with a fresh man as well. Spinning kick in the gut, not too bad. Kick there. Didn't really do anything spectacular. I mean, he got it, but it's not going to be one that's going to finish the match. Phoenix Splash, however, from the second row. And a long ways across the ring as well. That is very, very talented by Ricochet. Hurricanrana now using his speed to his advantage, and I think this is something that the Bucks tried to utilize as well last week, and while bits of it worked, not all of it did. And that was it not working there against War Machine. Raymond Rowe now with a Brock Lesnar-esque German suplex. Hooked him in, sent him on his way. Lovely stuff. Now look at this. Feeling so confident in this matchup right now. He brings him into his own corner. Does Raymond Rowe. Ibushi can only watch on as he sees his tag team partner in huge trouble here. Double underhook superplex. On your way, you shall go. Ricochet dumped hard off the top rope. Cover here by Raymond Rowe now. There's only a 1 count, however. It's been a sparse amount of tags in this matchup, 1 each from either side. Usually you like to see a team try and shut that down, you know, make quick and frequent tags, and speaks volumes, I guess, when War Machine are currently the ones doing it. The Young Bucks, I remember, did it last week. I keep on saying last week, it wasn't last week. They did it on the last episode of Smackdown Live. They worked with the quick tags. They kept each other in to work over the brutes. Not so much from Future Shock here, but look at the strength from Ricochet there. Northern Light suplex, flipped over into a brainbuster. A deadlift brainbuster, no less. Stomp on the back of the head there. Hansen could be in trouble here. We've seen them strike this move a la Red Dragon. Future Shock are going to hit their own iteration of it. Here we go. Up for the brainbuster. The roundhouse kick. The brainbuster. Could it do it? Could it do it for Future Shock? Is the reign over for War Machine already? There's the count. And there's the kick out. I knew it was too early to call anything. But Ibushi's back in now. Hansen's on his own. Raymond Rowe was sent to the outside. But it won't matter too much that he is. Uh-oh. Face first there with a powerbomb, Snake Eyes. Look at that. Just from a moment almost away from losing the tag team titles, suddenly it's like nothing ever happened for War Machine. Oh, we've seen him hit this on a number of people. Ibushi's going to feel it now. Moonsault by Hansen. And doesn't that tell you the story about this man? Ibushi, however, will not let Raymond Rowe tag in. Keeps going to work here. Oh, dumped face first. That was a great counter by Hansen, has to be said. Just smart, but also just used all of his strength to his advantage. Tag made here now. Raymond Rowe, the legal man again. He runs into pointed elbows there. Does Ibushi. And like I said, even though he had all the momentum, almost showing that what happened at the Rumble didn't matter, as Ibushi is getting a lot taken to him right now. But Ibushi's still trying to fight here. Brings him in. Irish whip into the turnbuckle. And Ibushi gearing himself up. Gonna put Raymond Rowe in the Tree of Woe of all things. Should be interesting. Oh, hello. Ibushi has something in mind here. Raymond Rowe in trouble. Clinging himself up. Double stomp into the chest there. What a move by Ibushi. And now look at him here. Holds him in. Dumps him down there. It's like a dude buster, as Trent Barretta would call it. Cover after it to try and win them the tag team titles. Not going to work. Great strength, though, shown by Ibushi to hit that. And now got the triangle lock in there, but nothing coming of it. Raymond Rowe able to slip his way out. And again, Brock Lesnar-esque for you. Just make sure Brock Lesnar doesn't catch you doing them. Imagine Raymond Rowe and Brock Lesnar going at it. That would be just a brutish fight. Essentially to the death. Raymond Rowe now has regained control in this matchup here, but only temporary. Hard forearm shot there by Ibushi. And again, the leaping DDT comes to his arsenal. Will he look for the Phoenix Splash here? Will he look for victory? Ibushi up high. Phoenix Splash! And he's going to look for that powerbomb right after it. If he hits this, this is incredible strength. Brings him in. No, Raymond Rowe backdropped his way out of it. And oh no, Ibushi's in trouble now. Ibushi's in the clutches of War Machine. Oh no, this could be it. Up for the back suplex, down for the leg drop. There's the clattering force of War Machine coming together. Took a while, but there's the cover on Ibushi. Ricochet sent on his way, and oh, he kicks out. He kicks out at 2, and Hansen looks stunned. Just standing there for a moment, wondering, what more do they do here? Ibushi on his own, but he will fight. And fighting he is right now. Hangs Hansen up in the Tree of Woe. Hansen will get the same fate as his tag partner. Trying to bring himself up, but to no avail. Only for a double stomp in the chest. Double axe handle there by Kota Ibushi, and he had to tag out. There was no doubt about it. He couldn't keep fighting on. Ricochet has to take over now, and may well have to take over for a very long time. But momentum has flipped on more than one occasion in this matchup, and once again, it has flipped to the side. Oh, albeit only temporary. No, back to it full time now, maybe. A future shock to the outside there. On the apron now. Stands. Ricochet. Oh, he's gonna go for something big here, surely. No, he's gonna run. And he dropped down. Alright, very good. Thank you, game. On the wrong way now, though, is Ricochet with Hansen. This is not a smart idea. Oh, I'll risk a count-out loss here. Kicks in the chest there, but now way up. Oh, God. Oh, God! And way away from safety there, as that power bomb on the LED ramp certainly showed him. Ricochet right now is in trouble once again. Oh, just caught with a punch here to the side of the head repeatedly by Hansen. That is certainly an unconventional way to capitalize when someone's under the ropes, but that powerbomb could well have brought about the end of it all. Flip the rolls around. The impact is still the same. Raymond Rowe now. The leg drop comes down on him. And Raymond Rowe has had second thoughts about a cover. Oh my God, they're going to do it again. This is to prove that they are on the top seat of the Smackdown Tag Division for a reason. This is to prove that they are the champions for a reason. The third in this match, the second to Ricochet, but the 3 count is inevitable. Ibushi can't move, and that'll seal it. War Machine have retained your tag team titles. They remain your tag team champions. This is the new team atop SmackDown's division. The Bucks tried and failed. Now Future Shock tried and failed. War Machine are your tag team champions, and for some time to come. And look at it on the 3 main rosters now. Raw has the Brood. ECW has the Authors of Pain. SmackDown has War Machine. 3 power teams hold those belts. And there are a lot of teams that want to try and get their hands on them. But the thought of having to go through a team like War Machine may just be too much for them. Well, certainly one thing is for certain. With the reign that they had with those tag team titles, the Young Bucks will have to get a rematch at some point. I see no reason why they shouldn't. And that could be a King of the Ring match maybe, or it could be on SmackDown at some point. We'll find out, but certainly the Young Bucks deserve a title rematch, and maybe Ibushi of these next few weeks, you never know, may have some more singles ventures in mind for him. Hey, King of the Ring's coming up real soon. Maybe SmackDown will elect Ibushi to go after them there. We'll find out. But what an episode of SmackDown Live this was. We may not have had Bobby Fish here. but we certainly had a lot of talent, and we certainly know something heading into next week, and that is Finn Bálor is defending his Intercontinental Championship against Roman Reigns. You don't want to miss it. That'll end this episode of SmackDown Live. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys, and ta-ra.